Hello, just a quick impromptu video about this Cort bass. I got a comment on my video about the LTD 6-string I used to have, and I thought maybe a video on this bass would be useful. Someone was asking about my opinion on this bass, which he's seen in another video, and the LTD. So, roughly the answer I gave that commenter was, this is the better bass. I sold the other one when I got this bass. It's, price point wise, it's ever so slightly higher, so it kind of is a bit more of an upmarket bass in the first place anyway. I think that's reflected really in the hardware, which is like hip shot tuners, that sort of thing, and Bartolinis, which I think are not top end Bartolinis, but they're still very nice sounding. The LTD were just like LTD pickups, I don't know anything about them. And neck through construction, which is one of the biggest things about this bass for me. When I tried out this bass, I was, and I still am, quite concerned about the weight of my instrument. It's not worth it to me to be playing an instrument that is, for hours on end at a gig, that is causing me pain and discomfort. So I compared this with the LTD that I had, and they're pretty much the same weight. However, this instrument is very well balanced, I think, due to the neck through construction, and I hadn't really noticed it until that point, but the LTD, when I compared them, was rather neck heavy. So that's a big plus about this bass. It's very well balanced, it's very ergonomic. Yes, very pleased with it in that respect. It's fairly heavy, as you expect from, I don't know the scale length, 34 at least, 35 maybe. It's a 6-string, it's maple, which I think is heavy. This is an impromptu, ignorant video about this bass, by the way, if that wasn't already obvious. The other thing that I noticed about this bass straight away was the clarity of sound, which I like. It's fairly uncoloured. It's not terribly characteristic. It's not like a P bass or a Warwick sound, which is kind of pinching that off the previous commenter again. But very clear. Hopefully you can hear that. So. Just kind of riding up the strings. Just noodling. But I just was quite struck by how relatively balanced it is across the whole fretboard. I always play with both pickups on. Here's it with neck pickup. Oh no, that's not. That's it with the volume down. Here's it with just the neck pickup on. I'm also over plucking there. I'll not do that. And bridge pickup. Yeah. Not played that in a while. Yeah, or like. I don't know how to play YYZ, so there you go. It sounds like a bass. Yeah, the battery's out, so I'm not going to show you any active electronics, but it'll sound like any other bass with bass, mid, and treble controls. So this is just a very, very vague kind of sound overview. What time are we at? 5 minutes. I can spraff for another minute longer. The one downside of this bass, which is kind of hinted to with the passive active thing, it is supposedly active with a dead battery and passive. However, if you bought this bass and did what I have done, which is have a dead battery in it, you would flick this switch to passive and you would still get no sound for some reason. The passive mode still requires a full battery to run. So by my understanding, it's not really passive. I had to get this modified, shall we say, or fixed, so that I could play it truly passive and not have to carry around a battery all the time, which to me just is a bizarre thing that for people to take for granted with a musical instrument. I can't stand it. So I can't really remember the explanation, but basically it turns off the active EQ, but it doesn't properly bypass it or something like that. So basically, if you're looking for a passive bass, or at least an active bass with an emergency, oh no, my battery's run out, let's go to passive, you won't get that with this bass. And it was a bit pricier to make the modification than I had expected. They had to replace one of the pots, I think. They thought they might have to replace the pickups as well, because I don't know, they thought it would be like an active pickup thing and the wiring or some fucking thing. That didn't have to happen. It was a bit pricey. At least 50 quid, I think. Yeah, so, but all the same, I still think this bass is very good. I think the active passive thing deserves a little attention because it wasn't an anomaly. This is how the basses are made, and I think that that's really stupid. So write to your local Cort dealer and tell them how unhappy you are about that. I still think it's a great bass. You know, it sounds like a bass, basically. It does the job. It just feels clean, nice, sounds good, it's balanced, looks very nice. Yeah, I can't really say more about it than that. It's a good bass. So yeah, that'll do. Cheers.